Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for November 7th through the 13th, 2022. So before I begin, I'd just like to, first of all, thank all of you for your prayers and your heartfelt healing that you've been sending. It's been tremendously helpful. And this week, I am definitely feeling much better. I um, took a second COVID test because I just wanted to make sure, because everybody's been telling me all these weird things about, they test a week later and then it shows up positive. So I did go back on Wednesday, but the test came out inconclusive. There was something wrong, I guess, in terms of it was not able to determine anything. So I had to take it again yesterday on Friday, and hopefully I'll get the same results I got on the previous week. But I have to wait again. And so it's just part of the process for now, I guess. And um, so yeah, that's one thing that's going on. And so hopefully I can resume the work that was being done in the apartment. Hopefully that kicking up of dust and all that stuff probably hopefully didn't trigger it. Is one of my theories right now, that might have been what created all of the issues, but we will see. So I'll be careful this time and maybe wear a mask while they're working. And so hopefully this will be completed this week, and the following week I will be able to resume my work. So yes, one more. I just want to thank you again and for your patience, all of you as well, during this time. And I'd like to welcome you all back and welcome anyone who's new to the Angelic Wisdom community for the very first time. Welcome to you. And so just want to make you aware of a few things. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, select the all notification bell so that you get any of the content that's posted, that you'll be aware of it. Also, I want to invite you to leave comments, to like the videos, and that helps the algorithms as well, and to leave comments and the area on the video. So that all, it's just good to hear from you, to know who's viewing and how it's impacting you. It's just good to read those. And then also, it might be possible if the following week that I will start the daily card messages again. So, be on the lookout for that. I, although I may not be able to do the zodiac readings, but I definitely will try to see if I can do just a monthly reading, general reading. So we just have that. I haven't even done my own personal one yet. So those are the kind of things that might be coming out. So just be aware of that. All right, and if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, which will probably start after, like I said, the following week, somewhere the 15th, potentially, you can go to my current webpage, theangelschool.com, and select the services page. The link is below in the description area. And this year is I've been offering my first time promotional angel reading, which is my discounted hourly reading. So you can sign up for that. And you can sign up for it now, and then you can use it anytime in the future, even into next year if you purchase them now. And also, if you just like to support the channel and say thank you, you can also look for my PayPal me link, where you can just donate to in support of the channel. And so let's take a deep breath now. And just, make sure you're sitting where you can put your feet on the floor, on the ground, and just connecting with the earth and connecting with your heart space. And they're writing the word focus. So I don't know if this is to this moment of, awareness that we've just called or evoked for ourselves. And it might be that as well as in this week to really focus. And they're writing the word fragile. So I get that the energies that we're experiencing right now, that they're not being pessimistic, but they want you to just be aware. In terms of fragile, what I get a sense of is that the energy, the times that we are experiencing, these are fragile um, energies. And I know fragile usually has this connotation of easily, something that can easily break, right? But if you think about it, that's also a good thing when we think about some of the things that are going on right now. So this is in terms of things that are no longer serving us, things that are outdated, have worn their use. This is a fragile time for those things to break more easily. And so, although in another sense, this is a fragile time, especially in this week, in terms of the voting that will take place. And, the angels aren't advocating either side, but it is, we don't realize collectively, in terms of oneness and in terms of us living in our human experience, this is a time, a fragile time, where the things can go either way. And we're making that decision collectively. It might seem like you're on one side or the other, but you're making it collectively. And so, in if you really want to, again, influence, because what's fragile in this time, the energy that's fragile is the ego, the illusions of fear, the three-dimensional frame work is fragile. And in terms of our vote, um, if you're in it for a side, then you're likely going to be supporting the opposition. Because if you're all about the side, then you're not seeing the general um, opportunity that we have at this time to allow the old system to crumble. And through your intention, you can actually help it to crumble much faster. So be aware of where the focus, this is what they mean. Be aware of where you're focusing your intention. Again, I'll just give this simple example before people start throwing their phones across the room at what I'm saying, because you might be misinterpreting me. But the simple example that has always been given to me is the law of attraction, which is now I understand why they were writing that word while I was meditating. Remember the law of attraction, like attracts like, right? And so remember that what you focus on increases. What you resist will persist. So your intention, if your intention is peace, then let all of your focus be on peace. Let all of your actions be to strategies to establish that peace in the world. You don't need to fight the war. In actuality, if you focus on peace, you are fighting to win against the opposition. And you're also fighting for those who are on the other side. If either side chose to drop the war and to focus on peace, you would all arrive at very similar solutions. If in politics, in anything, in a marriage, in any partnership, any situation where people take different point of views, you will never arrive at solutions from resistance, from being disagreeable towards the other opponent's or the other side's point of view. You will only incite more resistance to what you're saying because you're not hearing what they're saying. They don't feel heard or understood, just like you don't feel heard or understood. And so, if everybody focuses on peace from their point of view and only tries to establish peace in whatever terms that might be based on whatever it is that the disagreement is about, peace will lead you forward towards solutions that are similar to each other, making it easier for you to, first of all, to tap into the understanding of the other side and also tap into the collective understanding of the peace, the solutions that will bring the peace that will be agreeable to everyone. It will bring a sense of alignment to everyone. And this is the true focus and intention of this time, that we get beyond that duality, that three-dimensional sort of, back and forth opposition, and start getting into this fifth dimensional mind framework or consciousness where peace and solutions are readily available and easily accessible, where harmony is the vibrational template of the day and of a new era. So you can choose to worry. And worry attaches you to the other side's agenda. And its agenda is a different from a solution. Right? Agenda is like, this is something that's stuck. It's like it's been headlined, outlined, and everybody's stuck to it. But solutions are something that's evolving and moving forward. So in this week, stop worrying about anything and start building peace. If you are out there trying to get other people to vote, come up with a plan of peace. A plan that allows you to be open. Because if you're open, the person on the other side listening to you, their heart will open. If you come in peace, they will respond in peace. If you come with solutions based on that peace, and that open-heartedness, you will find that you will be able to strike that chord within them before you even open your mouth. When you approach, your vibration will have this clear intention, and the muscles in everyone will relax, and understanding and hearing will be available, and you will be able to achieve that peace. You just have to let go of the agenda. You have to let go of the fight and the war and choose to be in the light and bring enlightenment as your sword, your shield, and your ideology. Enlightenment. Bring that to the table. Because this approach I'm describing is the fragile transition of our new awareness of what power really is. When we speak from the truth, where no one feels manipulated, this is the new power. This is the power of the heart. This potential has always been there through any age since man has, been standing on his 2 feet and thinking and developing language and being able to communicate. And this has always been available to us. We have just been in a consciousness that has not allowed us to be able to access this from within ourselves, to want to draw it out of ourselves, because we've been distracted by fear, by our ego pulling us into these sort of forcing us to react in ways that have been very unhealthy for all of us. And all of us suffer. The ego makes you think that one side is getting away with it. Everybody suffers because we are oneness. And when one of us suffers, we are all suffering. That's why everybody always sees the world as a place of great suffering. Because, again, another law of attraction example, if I can get it out, someone who's afraid, so the thief and the victim. But what creates this dynamic in the first place? Ego, fear. The victim, let's say the rich person might be the victim in this case, because we know it can be reversed. And the rich person is worried about the thief, who will just blankly and very generally, and I know it's not good to do this, but just for sake of argument, to make a point, the victim, the thief who's poor, okay? So now the person who's rich, where we always look and say they have everything, they're happy, they're never miserable. Yes, they are, because they're always worried about somebody taking what they have. That's misery. It's a different kind of misery, but it's imbalance in terms of the laws of attraction. So first of all, we have to focus, and we don't do that. Many of us who feel like we don't have enough, that's all we focus on. We worry about it all the time. And you say, but what else can you do? And I can't tell you, but that's what we do. And I've known other people who don't have a lot, and you'll meet them and they will go on singing the praises of God and appreciation, etc., and gratitude. And they found a way to be happy with the means that they have. So it is possible for us to focus on peace. And whether you're rich or poor, you can do it. And the thing is that we have to focus in every circumstance of our life, no matter what the occasion or the situation is. We have to choose peace. We have to start focusing our attention. And remember, we're creatures of habit, right? So we are basically like a technology. We're like we have our own algorithms, and we keep attracting to ourselves the misery or some sense of gratitude. I mean, basically, that's either where we are. We're either miserable or we have gratitude. And you could be rich or poor, you can be anything. It could be any situation going on. But we have to choose to focus. We have to cultivate. That's why, like exercising and diet, and diet, I hate to use that word because we should just be focusing on, we should understand that what we put in our mouths is medicine. It's going to change, it's going to create some kind of chemical reaction in our body in the way it functions. And where is it going to go first? The brain. So a lot of our mental health, a lot of our issues, and I don't mean to overly simplify, but I'm just trying to make a point in general, has a lot to do with a combination of eating versus, I don't want to say diet, but I want to say, what we eat and how we take care of our bodies. So we have to exercise. If you notice that the physical body, in terms of our aura, it's the physical body, then the emotional, then the mental, and the outer end of our aura is the spiritual body. So the spirit and the physical body are like this, the bookends, or the two pieces of bread, right? And the emotional and mental is what's in between the sandwich. So therefore, that's why we have our physicalness, meaning we have to make sure we eat the right things, we have to exercise, and then we have our spiritual, which is our spirituality, which is why we have religions or whatever you choose. And spirituality could be more than just, religion or gods and goddesses and all this. It could just be um, this, because you say somebody may not believe in any of that kind of thing, but they still have a spirituality. I don't know how to put it in context. I've never had to think about it, but I can perceive, if I didn't believe in anything, that I would have this sense of my spirit, and that I need to do certain things to take care of my spiritual well-being. I guess I may focus on or be aware of being inspired and things like that. Those sort of orgasmic kind of experiences that I feel like are spirit. It's the way I think I identify with my spirit if I were to take out all those other things. But the health of those two influences the mental and the emotional. So let's just say spiritual, let's give it just one general faith of some kind. Like maybe an atheist has faith in that certain things in the world unfold if he does XYZ. So he's basically, or she is aware of the law of attraction without really knowing what that is, potentially. But they've experienced in their lives, and they've come to develop a faith that if they show up in a certain way, that the world is going to show up for them in a certain way. And that's a faith. Okay. So basically when we take care of our physical body and our spiritual body, then the emotional and mental are going to have a certain kind of health, and they're going to function in a certain way. So that's why it's important that these two bookends, or the two are really vibrant and healthy, and that we give ourselves to them, that we take care of them, because that in taking care of that, we take care of the others. I mean, it's like sort of the two main focuses, really, if you think about it, because most people have a religious place or a community or something that they do daily or weekly. And then we all eat, and we know we have to take care of ourselves. We need to walk and do these things. So this is really important. And then those middle ones are enhanced by how we take care of the outer. And so we just have to be aware, be aware, and we have to focus in this time, in this fragile time. Not fragile as in, oh, this is a bad time. It's fragile because the structures of the old are good, and this is now, this is the easiest time for us to break that mold. It's not the most difficult time. It might be trying to scare you like it's stronger than ever. It's just puffing itself up to appear that way. It's actually, as what the angels are trying to say, it's at its weakest, extreme weakness, weak point. And so the choices that we make in this week, not only just voting, but I feel in general in our daily interactions, treat your daily interactions with people and situations like a vote, like our big elections, because our general elections, because it is a general election for in our country, but it's also a general election in terms of the the council, the collective council for our planet. Our behaviors and our attitudes are showing them where we how we're going to invest in our future in terms of light, in terms of love and oneness. All right, let's take a look at the archangel, and this is the archangel of nature. So Archangel Purlimiek. Okay, and there's two archangels that have similar names. The other one, I can't think of his name now because I'm looking at this one, who's the archangel of the insects. But this is the archangel of nature. So he's saying, let nature soothe you, serve the nature kingdom. Now, I'm drawn to this, I don't know what to call this scientifically, that this little green, I'm just going to say plant that's growing there. And he's given it light, and you can see the roots. Let me see if I can bring it up. You can see the roots there, and the energy that's, going from the roots, and the energy that's growing out of the plant there. And it has like 3 leaves on it. So it gives us a sense of some kind of the Trinity. And in a very non-religious context, but a very universal Trinity energy. And so this is really giving us a sense of, in this week, that this is an opportunity for us to drop the facade. That's what the ego is. It's an illusion. It's the unnatural essence of our, in terms of spirituality, it's sort of unnatural to spirituality, to truth, right? Because it's about projecting all these illusions and fears. And so we have this opportunity to get back into our true nature of spirit and our physicality. We have an opportunity to really align. So as nature exists amongst us, it is still being true to itself. We're not being true partners to nature. So you may want to look at in ways that you are not being a true partner to your physical body or to its health or to the world or to each other, to humanity. So try not to let your ego, your projections, that these facades that we put up, try not to let them interfere. Resist. Like social media is just this huge facade, you know, and you can't help it because of marketing strategies and everybody's, trying to make a living on online now. And so it's going to cause each and every one of us to put up some kind of facade. And now it allows us all to be even worse at that because we, many people say things that they would never say if you put a mic in front of them. Now, like before, many people would be terribly afraid to be the one to be in front of a microphone, whether it's a politician or performer, etc. But with this platform, you can kind of hide behind the platform itself and be this person you would never be if you were somebody were to meet you in person. So, and we've become comfortable with this facade. We've actually grown. We're actually turning towards it. So, for instance, these avatars, performers now. Like I don't watch the America's Got Talent, but I've just seen things in passing. On a YouTube feed or something, or watched a segment of something, and it's just interesting to see, that people are um, choosing this rather than to stand in front of people in the way that we have. It's entertaining, okay, give it that. I mean, everything is not bad, right? There's always something positive out of something. I'm not, oblivious to that point in any argument. There's always the other side. Um, but it's just, I'm pointing out this to illustrate how we can work with this archangel, not just specifically for the thing that is obvious here, but to help support us and to being in alignment with nature itself and with our own nature, because that is the sort of what the point is. He's trying to draw you out into nature, surrounding yourself with the beauty that God created, then for you to find that similar point of vibration in your own consciousness, to view yourself as this unique and rare, beautiful soul and gift, contributed to life itself. That we don't forget that it's okay to be ourselves. Our natural selves is actually the reason why you were created, was to be your natural self. But we all, without exception, conform in some way. We are all, in some way, perpetuating an illusion because we all, somewhere deep down, believe that we're not good enough. And that is what makes certain people, whether they have a lot or have very little, do things that that lack integrity. Okay? So think about how you truly want to be. Think about the light that has not fully shined in the world in the way that it really wants to, because we keep perpetuating, projecting an illusion, something that we see that's acceptable, and so we just repeat it, even if it's just not the right thing for us. And talking about, I think of the Queen of Wands is really her own woman. I think she really represents that, because even in the traditional tarot card, she's the only queen that doesn't sit like a lady. She sits like a man, like she sits with her legs apart, you know, and in this stance, but she's a woman. And when you look at her, you really can't tell the difference very clearly, except because it says Queen on the card. And so I've always thought of the Queen of Wands. She's a universal soul. She's that when I think of that song, I'm every woman, right? Like she can be everything. Or it reminds me of that commercial from the 70s, the 80s. I don't know was it Ajali or Kajali, but I can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. Like she can do it all, right? She can do the business. She can be a leader out in the world. She can be a mom. She can do it all. So the thing is, yes, you, man or female, you really can do it all. There are no limits except the ones that we have developed through beliefs in ourselves, or disbelief in ourselves. We've developed limitations, but we were all divinely created unlimited, just rare and unique. But that doesn't mean because you're rare and unique that and that other people shine in their way, rare and unique, that there's something inadequate in you. You and I thought that up. And even if you and I didn't think it up on our own, and some type of media, because they thought it up and believed it themselves, put it out there, and then we all latched onto it. And to correct myself, we all latched onto it, doesn't mean that it's still true. And so we have, I think of the Queen of Wands as someone with many abilities, who's multifaceted and talented in so many ways. And the thing about her is that I feel like because of that posture and her stance, that's normally seen, she's not afraid of her uniqueness, her individuality, her sexuality. She's not afraid of any of it. And this, I feel like she's the come out queen here, in the sense that all of us need to come out of hiding and truly be our rare, unique, and beautiful divine selves. We don't want to shine like every other diamond in the world. You want to have your own unique facets. You have your own unique scars that just make you rare. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, because every scar and every I don't know how a diamond shines, but every facet of you makes you even more of a perfection. Remember, you're imperfectly perfect. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. So, with this card here is always, I love it. This is my favorite Ten of Swords card, because it's like he's trying to get up and something keeps, shooting him down, but he doesn't stop trying. And in this process, some of you might feel like you're like this. You keep trying to soar and something shoots you down, but that butterfly is an indication that a change is happening even to you. So there's a sense of good news here to those of you who feel like you just keep getting knocked down and you can't, every time you try, but you don't stop trying. And because you didn't stop trying, change, renewal, a time of renewal is on the horizon for you. And it can be, we don't know if this is a sunset or a sunrise. You might not know where you are right now. You might just, and go back to what I was saying before. You got to switch from this You gotta get from you gotta switch to gratitude if you're always focused on the misery, because law of attraction here. And so you could you have the abilities to rise above this once and for all. And the thing is to change the pattern. Focus, as they were saying in the beginning. The energies are fragile. Whatever has been weighing you down, those energies are fragile. They are huffing and puffing, like they're like they still have all this power. They don't. If something is scaring you to death, that's been scaring you to death your whole life, stop where you are and stop being afraid of it, because and turn around and look it in the face, and it will shrink in front of you. It's almost like, I'm trying to think of the word that I've heard somebody use about this, about the time that we're in. Um, Darn it, I can't think of it, but it's basically like it's like a hologram, like the things that the fears and the situations that used to be when we were in that time where whatever we fears we were creating, they would really come true. But this is sort of like phantom energy now. It's just there, it's still perpetuating these patterns, but they're phantoms because you still feed them in some way, but they don't have the same kind of power to impact you really this time. And if you, so that it's fragile enough that if you stand up in your power, and if it's just saying no, I will not be afraid of this any longer, and I'm going to do what I think is right, and let's see what really is going to happen, because I guarantee you it won't happen. What you have been thinking would happen has kept you down all this time, and that thing is what's stopping you from soaring and continuing on into a new journey. So trust and believe in yourself. Now, you notice we keep getting this card, and I think we've had this card too quite a lot in the last month. It's and what it is, this is just telling you, this is what I was just talking about. There are no boogeyman men hiding in the trees. It's all an illusion. It's a phantom. Your worry, your worrying is what keeps you seeing those phantoms, or having this feeling, this ominous feeling of something that's going to go wrong. You're just rolling the same script and you won't let it go. Now, Lord Zeus is coming through, and what he does, he is like, first I'll say it this way, like the out of the box thinker. So aligned with the planet Uranus, which is in your where your crown chakra is aligned with that planet. And the ascendant aspect of that planet is coordinate. So if you tune into that, your crown chakra, and align it with the planet Uranus and its ascendant aspect, Coronate, and you think that, you can tap into this energy of out of the box experiences, or sort of these sort of quantum leap sort of ideas. So to break that cycle, okay? So think out of the box, tap into inspiration to help you to see, to frame these situations in a different way that will give you a sense of release and relief. All right, let's take a look at the card on the bottom of the deck. And it's interesting, Temperance card. You're talking about focus. They want you to focus and balance here. Harmony. That word came up earlier in terms of focusing on peace. So no matter whatever is scaring you, stop being afraid of it and focus on peace. Don't try to solve that problem. That is not how you get to the solution of peace. That will just get you to a solution, a temporary solution that will leave you in that three-dimensional paradigm, in that struggle, resistance. And it's like putting a band-aid on something without actually going in and applying the proper ointment. So focus on peace as the path to for balance and temperance here, because you can't fight. What you resist will persist. You cannot fight your fears. You have to take your attention to a completely different arena. And no matter what your fears are, peace is a completely different arena. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a completely different arena. And I'm going to say it like this only because for some of you who may think I'm trying to talk you out of a fight. And I'm not saying that activism or standing up or these ways that is wrong. It's not. But peace is a different kind of fight. And peace is a fight that always will win over any illusion or fear that you can conjure for yourself. So instead of fighting your fears, get in a different arena and focus on peace. Fight the fight of peace. Otherwise, you will never find a solution that the opposition can hear or understand, or that will bring you together on a similar trajectory of outcomes. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. And remember, this is a general election for the collective, as well as for those of us in the United States or wherever other elections are being held at this time in other countries. This is a fragile time, but this is about the crumbling of that three-dimensional structure and that collective consciousness. So have faith, and God bless.